It seems like the legal case between Nintendo along with the Pokemon Company against PocketPair, the creators of the critically acclaimed game Palworld, is starting to heat up, or at least flicker a little bit more. As this is a court case which will be held in a Japanese court of law, specifically the Tokyo District Court. In this video, I will be sharing some basic translations of tweets, showcasing some opinions shared by the Japanese netizens on this situation, as well as PocketPair's recent statements. I also previously covered the translations to the original official press release statements, as well as the initial reactions of the Japanese netizens in a previous video. In this video, I also briefly go over the Japanese patent law system and its history. Like in my previous video covering this topic, I will not be sharing my own personal opinion on this matter. The tweets showcased in this video are all randomly selected, and I have tried to avoid any personal bias. Additionally, the usernames and display pictures for all the tweets used, excluding official accounts, will be blurred for the sake of privacy. It's my belief that everyone is entitled to their own opinion, so let's remain respectful of that. On the afternoon of November 8th, PocketPair posted on both their English and Japanese X accounts a linked statement regarding the current ongoing lawsuit with Nintendo and the Pokemon Company. The statement can be viewed in both English and Japanese. Unlike PocketPair's initial published statement when the news of the lawsuit first broke, which contains several differences between the English and Japanese versions, the English and Japanese of this statement has no notable differences. In this statement, it is shared that the lawsuit is filed seeking damages and injunctions for 3 particular Nintendo-owned patents. As highly speculated by netizens, the patents at the center of this lawsuit are for ball aiming and capturing mechanics, as well as monster ride mechanics. It is very important to note that the dates for these patents listed in the statement are all in the year 2024. But these are in fact a bunch of patents, with the original Japanese parent patents being filed for in 2021, prior to the release of Palworld, and coinciding with the announcement and subsequent release of Pokemon Legends Arceus. The statement then goes on to say that both Nintendo and the Pokemon Company are seeking 5 million yen plus late payment damages. And the statement finishes off by saying that PocketPair will continue to assert their position through legal proceedings and will announce any future matters that require public notice on their website. As of the filming of this video, there has been no additional statements regarding the lawsuit from Nintendo or the Pokemon Company. So how was the reaction from netizens to this statement from PocketPair? All in all, on the English X statement, the response was primarily supportive of Palworld. This was expected and followed the pattern of PocketPair receiving a lot of support from wrestling gaming fans. Meanwhile, the initial reaction to the lawsuit from Japanese gamers was primarily pro-Nintendo and anti-PocketPair. However, the responses for this newest statement, while still mostly negative, was a bit more of a mixed bag. Let's have a look at a few now. The media manipulation here is terrible. This has been written like the patents are recent, but it feels like it's an attempt to mislead people in order to gain sympathy. It all just goes to show the bad nature of those in this company. I just want this company to go under quickly. Because this is a divisional application of a patent which was filed on December 22nd, 2021, the effective date is December 22, 2021, so it can be enforced against Palworld, which began service on January 19, 2024. Open your eyes! Nintendo acquired these patents in December of 2021. Why is this report so misleading? It reads as if the patents were issued after the release of Palworld, lol. The attempt to manipulate people's perceptions is full of ill intent. The people defending Palworld are so low level. I want Nintendo to do everything possible to protect the gaming industry. It's not a good look. If they want to gain sympathy, they should show a little bit more reflection. It's been clear from the beginning that they are not a good company, since they copied from others. I mean, they can't even create a good game without Pokemon or Arc. I'm mentioning the name of other companies' games, but they should have been more creative like Yokai Watch for example. These are a handful of responses supporting Nintendo and critical of PocketPair. The main reoccurring theme seen in these responses and many others, which were anti-PocketPair, was the written date of the patents in the statement, with many netizens feeling like PocketPair wrote the later divisional patent dates rather than the earlier 2021 patent dates in an attempt to mislead the public and garner sympathy. Additionally, we also saw in one comment the idea that Nintendo is protecting the gaming industry by filing this patent lawsuit. We saw this sentiment a lot in response to the initial press releases. Another common theme was criticizing PocketPair for the lack of originality, comparing aspects of Palworld to both Pokemon and Arc, while also bringing up other monster capture games like Yokai Watch. However, although responses like these were the majority, as mentioned earlier, there were more comments expressing a more neutral opinion or even supporting PocketPair when compared to the responses from the initial press releases. People are talking about the filing date, but these are elements that have been seen in games prior to PocketPair and Nintendo. In America, a patent that lacks novelty to this level would be dismissed. Honestly, I don't really care what happens to Palworld. I think the first and subsequent impressions were not great. If nothing else, I think they should take this as an opportunity to do some self-reflection. But more than anything else, I'm intrigued to see how this will affect lawsuits and patents in the gaming industry. Perhaps this whole thing is a changing point. Ultimately, it's all just cribbling matters. The fact that an injunction is even being requested is ridiculous. Catching with balls? Releasing monsters from a ball? The style of riding monsters? Is that all it is? That's why Pokemon isn't interesting anymore. They are patent yakuza who try to destroy the IP of others if they think there is a threat. The future of the Japanese gaming industry is pretty bleak. It's because of all these patents that it's becoming difficult for new and interesting games to be created. In the past, there used to be a lot of fun games. Everyone is arguing about when the patent was granted, but if you really think about it, the only people who would file a lawsuit over something like this are patent bullies. As a user, I hope an agreement can somehow be reached on all of this. I'm cheering for you, so try your best. In these sampled comments, we see a concern over the type of patents being sued for and how patents are being issued and used within the Japanese gaming industry. One of these comments also mentioned the fact that if this lawsuit was being heard in an American court of law, that it would be thrown out due to lack of novelty. But another possible outcome for this whole situation is actually somewhat mentioned in the last comment showcased. Although both sides seem quite hostile, one possible outcome is coming to an agreement outside of the court. For this outcome, PocketPair will likely need to agree to pay a smaller amount of damages than what is currently being requested, as well as make some substantial changes to Palworld's gameplay. All in all, with these admittedly small sampled selection of comments, we can see a lot of support for Nintendo, as well as an increasingly bad public image for PocketPair. But we also do see a notable concern for the way patents are being used in Japan, as well as some support for PocketPair within the Japanese gaming community. The fact that the latest news was only published by PocketPair possibly plays a role in the current public opinion. It will be interesting to see how the public's reaction continues to evolve and change, as more news slowly comes through both PocketPair and Nintendo on this topic. For now, that's all the news. I will continue to cover this topic and the reaction to it within the Japanese gaming community, as new information is shared. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please be sure to like, comment and subscribe. And please remember to be respectful of the opinions of others in the comments. But for now, it's time for me to say bye bye, mate ne.